Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be taking this 2021 BMW M440 on a POV test drive. This one has the premium package and it has the parking assistant package. So let's go ahead and take it on a test drive and see how it does. Alright, let's go ahead and take this 2021 BMW M440 on a POV test drive and see how it does. And as you guys heard, this thing sounds phenomenal, seriously. It sounds so good. But let's go ahead and take it on a test drive and see how it does. As I mentioned, it does have the parking assistant package and it does have the premium package. The parking assistant package gives you that beautiful 3D view. That honestly looks so good. Resolution is really good. And overall, I just love BMW system. The seat belt tightens up, pushes you back to the seat, and it does have the engine start stop, so when you come to a complete stop, the engine will turn off. So driving this 2021 BMW M440, nice and smooth, and that 8-speed automatic transmission shifts so fast. Such a smooth, comfortable ride that has a ton of power. Interior is nice and spacious, and overall everything looks very good. Let's go ahead and take it on the highway and see how it does. I'm going to go ahead and put it in sport mode. Definitely very nice and responsive. A little bit of body roll. I didn't feel like it was planted that much for some reason. For the transmission, it's nice and responsive. So the car is in Sport Plus mode, but for some reason it just doesn't sound good. I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't sound good when driving. It sounds really, really good when it's parked, but when you're driving and you have it in Sport Plus mode or Sport mode, it doesn't sound anything. There's no pops and crackles from the exhaust, but overall the car is nice and responsive, very comfortable. But I really wish that it had pops and crackles, and I really wish the suspension setup was a little bit better. For some reason, it does feel a little bit stiff, like driving on the highway, but taking it around corners, you feel like it has like a good amount of body roll, which is a little bit weird. I thought it would actually handle very good for an M440, but it does feel like the car is actually like going, like it has like a good amount of body roll. But other than that, the car sounds good, and it's definitely responsive. Here we go. So I was able to hear the pops and crackles. So definitely this car has a ton of body roll, which is kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure why it does, and it does feel like it definitely. It's very similar to the X3 and X5 I drove. So I thought this M440 would actually be very good around corners, but it doesn't look like it. So I completely forgot to talk about the engine. Under the hood, they're going to be a 3.0 i6 that is connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this engine is connected to a 48-volt mild hybrid system that basically just makes the acceleration a little bit more responsive, or basically it eliminates that turbo lag and it makes shifting a little bit smoother. So that's what basically this 48-volt mild hybrid system does. And this car has 362 horses and 368 pound-feet of torque, and definitely this car has the numbers that BMW is claiming, but the suspension is not my favorite. It's a little bit soft, and I really don't like it. It doesn't feel confident around corners. But as I said, the ride is very comfortable, and I really like it. And I really wish it had a little bit more pops and crackles from the exhaust, like when downshifting now. Let's go ahead and try BMW xDrive system. It doesn't have acoustic glass. Let's go ahead and try their system. So definitely this thing is tail happy, and this thing is actually very fun. It did push the back a little bit out. Brakes feel very nice, and they are responsive, very nice and touchy. But yes, definitely back there, this car did push the back out a little bit. But the traction control actually kept it in place, so a very good traction control system. For the screen, this one is an 8.8-inch display. It is touch, and it is controlled by this wheel right here. So, as I said, I really wish that this exhaust had a little bit more pops and crackles to it, like when upshifting and downshifting. I think it would have been really nice, but yeah, it's a very nice ride, and this thing is so responsive. Seriously, such a comfortable ride. The suspension does feel a little bit stiff right here, but I really wish it was stiff around turns and corners. Steering wheel is very direct, even in comfort mode. In sport mode, it's definitely heavier than comfort. So I'm gonna go ahead and park right here on the side to open the rooftop. So let's go ahead and open it. You don't have to be in park to be able to open it. And it does take about 20 seconds, I would say. And that's about it. Alright, so the roof is down, and there's going to be a little bit of wind noise and car noises around me, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually roll up the windows. Hopefully there is not a lot of wind noise. Yep, definitely having the roof down in this M440 is very nice. And by the way, this one is a rear-wheel drive, but definitely having the roof down in a beautiful weather like this is so nice. actually the exhaust definitely sounds good. Let's go ahead and put it in sport mode. Yeah, definitely that i6 sounds so good. The sound of it is nice and deep, super aggressive, and it's definitely nice. Back seats are actually not bad. I did sit back there in my full review, and they were actually very good, but the back portion of the seats are a little bit straight. I really wish that they were reclined a little bit, but yeah, the front seats are nice and comfortable, and overall such a beautiful car. I really like this alligator skin looking metal console right here. So definitely with the roof down, I could hear the pops and crackles very easy. But when the roof is up, it's really hard to be able to hear the pops and crackles. I really wish they were a little bit louder, but it is what it is. Definitely, it's very fun to drive, to play around with the paddle shifters. Yeah, so I was mistaken when I said that it doesn't have pops and crackles at the beginning of the video. It definitely does, but the roof has to be down, or the windows actually have to be down for you to be able to hear the pops and crackles. But the M235 I drove a while ago, it did have a very loud pops and crackles even with the windows up. So for this M440, I really wish that the pops and crackles were a little bit louder, but other than that, guys, such a beautiful fun car to cruise around with or in. And definitely a lot of people actually do look when the roof is down, and this color is amazing. It's a $550 option, and it's definitely worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I could do an acceleration right here. This is a rear wheel drive. I'm gonna keep the traction control turned on. Let's see how it does. I'm gonna go ahead and brake boost it. Back there, the back of the car was actually going sideways. This is a rear wheel drive, so that's expected, of course, and the rear wheel drive, the back tires were actually spinning like crazy, and the traction control was on. I did not turn off the traction control. If I turned off the traction control, I'm pretty sure the wheels would have kept spinning forever. But yeah, it seems like it's a little bit hard for this car to put the power down, even in a very nice weather like today. It is 64 degrees. I did actually mention that the back tires are 225. I really thought they were at least like 235 or 245 to be able to put the power down. Yeah, definitely those tires in the back are not wide enough to be able to put the power down for a rear-wheel drive car like this one. But overall, I think this car is beautiful. It does get great fuel economy numbers. 23 in the city, 31 highway, and 26 combined for a very quick car that has 362 horses and 368 pound-feet of torque. So definitely very good fuel economy numbers. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this POV test drive of this M440. I definitely had fun with this convertible. I would like to thank Brittany here at BMW in North Haven, Connecticut for providing me this beautiful M440. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.